From the court to the classroom, from the block to the boardroom, this is the Michael Graham Show, where real talk meets real life. Join Michael Graham as he breaks down the big issues: youth development, community programs, housing, jobs, and the challenges that shape us all. Loud, funny, real. The voices of experience from athletes, educators, advocates, and everyday warriors are all right here. This is where community comes to talk. This is the Michael Graham Show.
Take yourself off of mute.
Hello, welcome to the Michael Graham Show. Hello, folks. Glad to have you aboard. Me and my co-host Bobby Kinzer here tonight, and we got a lineup for y'all, man. You know, we want the youth to watch this because it got to be over like 100 years, man. You know, of basketball. You know, the DC history, the coaching. You know, the mentorship. You know, we got it right here. These are some of the best minds of youth and high school basketball, you know, in the DMV. Bobby, who we got on tonight?
Man, let me tell you, Mike, we are so blessed to have some of the most qualified men that have done so much and touched so many young people's lives. I'd like to start off with the wonderful and incomparable Coach Mike McLesse, man. He coached Dunbar High School, where he had 3 city championships from 1987 to 1984. A record of over 180 wins and 40 losses. That's about an 82% success rate. Welcome, Coach McLesse. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Man, it's so good for you to be here with us today, man. Next, I'd like to bring on another good brother, man, is doing so much for young peoples, and it's Rob Nickens, man. Big Rob. Rob, man, has been around, one of the winningest coaches in the DMV, and actually coached Theodore Roosevelt. Don't get it mixed up with the PG Roosevelt. And we're so glad to have Rob on. What's up, Rob? We don't see your picture there, but hopefully you'll come into play. Rob has a book out called The Milkhouse, talking about his 10 championship appearances. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the wonderful, and I love his nickname, Coach Kip Keno Wilson. Coach has been for many years at several schools in the DMV, and don't leave out PG County, Oxon Hill, as Stacey Robinson, he called DC High Schools University. Oxon Hill High School, H.D. Woodson, where the famous, when I played, jump shooting this guy I've ever seen in my life, Barry Frazier. One of the great,
I remember Barry.
Great football players come out of Woodson too. Spingarn High School, which we all know the famous Spingarn, famous for, you know, Elgin Bella, Mike,
the gun, y'all know the gun, you know,
and Ollie Johnson, with a lot of people don't understand that about him. Dave Bean, and one of the most underrated players I think is Sherman Douglas.
My point, dog.
And look, Kip Keno, I love that name, man. The great man. He was also at the famous, because this school goes unpronounced sometimes, but a lot of legacy came through Kelly Miller.
The University.
University. That's a good one. Okay, yeah. Okay. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, who I got to talk about the wonderful and vivacious Dr. Maurice Butler. Look, Dr. Butler, man, your whole history is just phenomenal, man. And look, you got on that Cardoza. I never knew what the hell a clerk was, but I know that's y'all mascot. But Coach Butler, you have a career, man. You were at Roosevelt High School too.
Yeah,
36. Got a lot of Roosevelt alumni here. You were at Washington Post, All Metropolitan Boys Outdoor Coach of the Year, and that was for track. And 1994, you also was Coach of the Year, DC Coaches Association in 1992. Look, Coach, you did tennis too, Coach of the Year for tennis in 2004. You coached golf, and you were inducted to the Roosevelt High School Football Hall of Fame and representing the Cardozo Clerks in their Hall of Fame. So thank you for being there. And then, last but not least, we have the wonderful, hey, Ricky, what's up, buddy? Ricky Jones, and we know Ricky's been on here before. Ricky, man, the things you're doing, man, is incredible, man. Especially dealing with the NIL, the naming, image, and likeness. That is also awesome. Ricky has a book called For My City in My Life as a Basketball Influencer. And I'm leaving somebody else that actually had a book. Okay, Rob, I talked about your book. And you're going to have to tell everybody where they're from, where they can get it. The Milkhouse, and if I'm forgetting anybody else have a book. But thank you all for being on. And we got a lot to talk about.
Hey, Bobby, not to interrupt you, man, but we just had Darryl on, and I'm just waiting for Darryl Prue. But we can go ahead on because he didn't have his camera or mic on, so therefore I couldn't get him on there. And
by the way, just administrative duty. Somebody has a lot of talking in the background, and if you can either mute it until you talk, or either get them.
Come on, man, get on. He was introduced.
Cool. So look, this is how we want to start this. We got a lot of people on, and we're going to start from coming from yesterday up to today, right? You all have touched a bunch of young players, and I'm sure their parents. So y'all have done collectively, work in Washington, D.C., and we all know because we all grew up in D.C. D.C. is not no easy place. It's kind of how can I put it, y'all? It seems like D.C. is just a low-key kind of place. But there's a lot going on in D.C. because we're the hub of the world, and there's so much coming through this place. And to come out of D.C. And to make it is really a testament to a lot of y'all, and you helped a lot of people. So I'm going to start off with Coach Mac McLesse. When you came up, what area ball, where were you playing ball?
Oh, I came up in Northwest. And
what's your playground?
Well, playground was Rose Park.
Oh, and, Georgetown.
Yeah, I'm a Georgetown guy. I was born and raised in Georgetown, West End.
Wow.
They call it West End now.
Right.
And y'all were talking about Michael Wright. Michael Wright played for me at Francis Rec Center. My first coaching gig, and I was probably the first coach. He was playing 12 and under basketball. I was in college at the time.
Wow.
That's my neck of the woods, Northwest DC.
That's where you cut your teeth for playing ball.
Yeah. Went to Weston High School.
You went to Weston? When did you come out of Weston?
69.
God damn, Mike, you
wow.
Yeah, I'm 74, man. 74 years old.
Hey, man, you look good for 74, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
So did you play it started at all?
I played football and baseball. Didn't play basketball.
That's right up the street from Rose Park, right? On P
Yeah. We go right across the P Street Bridge, right there at Rose Park. That was our spot.
Okay, next, hey, Rob, Nick, where did you come up? Where was your area ball?
I grew up in Northwest D.C., Searching Quarters area, downtown D.C., New Jersey Avenue, K Street. Played for the great Julius Wide and number 2 Boys and Girls Club.
Number 2 in the house, New York Avenue.
2 Boys and Girls. That's how I learned how to play the game on the Julius Wide, Bill Butler, and Jimmy Walker, them guys down there.
No, don't leave Mr. Butler. Oh God, great man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Mr. Butler, and played for also Mr. Dixon at Turrell Middle School. So Coach Mack had a relationship with Coach Mr. Dixon back then, but learned the game down in that area right there. Grew up with Moochie Norris, Damon Singletary, Ricardo Leonard. They were all the guys that we grew up together. Cornelius Lasser, we all grew up playing the game together down in that number 2 Searching Quarters area. So forever grateful to that area.
Now that's a name for you. Did you say Moochie Norris?
Moochie Norris, one of my best friends of all time.
He gets forgotten, man. This boy played in the NBA. Hey, Ricky, come on. Coolest guy, Ricky. Tell us where you play. Don't say Tacoma.
No, I'm originally from Woodridge. Over there, because my family went to Taft and Woodridge Elementary. I went to Woodridge Elementary. I ended up going to Eleanor Roosevelt first. Then I transferred to Coolidge for 2 years, and then I finished my last year at Wheaton High School. That's why I played. But I played everywhere, man. My father told me about how when he was younger, he would travel around the city and play everywhere. So I would go. I played everywhere from Marie Reed, where I played a lot. I was out Montgomery County, PG County, Spring Hill Lake. I tried to play a little bit everywhere, not just for basketball, but to get to know as many people as possible.
So you went what they say from Chocolate City to the suburbs. You was like the Jefferson moving on up. So you went on up.
And Steve Hood was my high school coach.
Wow, Steve Hood, yeah,
man. I was supposed to go over there and play for Rob, man. But
I wanted him too. I wanted him bad.
My mother wasn't having it. My dad wanted me to, but my mom wasn't having it. So I ended up going out Wheaton. My fact, I was supposed to go play for Rob before I went to Coolidge, and after. But I ended up going out Montgomery County.
Wow.
Shit, Rob has enough daggone appearances in the championship, about at least 10, Rob.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Butler, what was your area for ball? Where did you cut your teeth?
Well, I didn't play ball in high school. Actually, I was in the marching band at Cardozo's marching band, and I went to a PWI for college, and they didn't have a band, so I decided to go out for football. So I went out for football my sophomore year. I was starting in my sophomore year, and after I graduated from there, then I played 2 years of semi-pro ball in the IFL.
Oh yeah.
Up in Carroll County Chargers. So,
but Dr. Butler, but what playground was in your neighborhood?
Raymond Playground. I'm across. I lived
down there by Spring Road.
Yeah.
Okay, Raymond.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, it definitely was some thugs down there. No, okay. Look.
Listen,
There was so many mugs and had a hand in your pocket down there, boy. You had to put zippers in your pockets. There was some pickpockets. No, that's cool. So Raymond, Raymond, no man, and Mr. Wilson, Kip Keno. Can I call you Kip Keno?
Yes, sir.
Kip Keno, you working that beard, you and McLesse, man. I've been trying. I only got a 4 for 1. Y'all.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I can't get it though.
I know. So Kip, man, what neighborhood did you grow up? What playground was yours?
Look, it was 8 of us in a 1 bedroom. So I tell my students all the time, we moved when rent was due. But I kept my teeth with the Fort Davis Jets with J.D. Brown.
Where was that?
Fort Davis Jets. J.D. Brown. That was
you talking about Southeast?
Yes, I'm a Southeast guy.
Oh, my cousin lived on Fort Davis Street, man. Kids.
Yes.
Damn, that's a tough area over there.
Mike would know the Black Italian. Leroy Marino was out.
Marino, Spingarn, right?
Jeff Hamilton. Those were our guys.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my man. That's when I came there. When I came to Spingarn when Jeff was a senior and I played on JV. And that guy was a hell of a player, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all seen collectively a lot of ball players and a lot of y'all are multi-sports people on here. So many ball players that came through, and a lot of didn't make it, and a lot of them didn't make it. But Coach McLesse, I'd like to start with you, man. So if you look at the young basketball when you were coming up, what is the difference? Is there a difference between the ball players then when you were coaching and now, and why?
Well, when I was coaching, I don't know if it's a difference in the ball players as much as it's a difference in the parents. When I was coaching at Dunbar, we locked the doors at practice, and nobody was in there. And I never had parents questioning whether the kids should play or things of that nature. We didn't have that outside influence, if you will. It just was a different. It was a different era. It was a different animal. in terms of being able to communicate. You know, some of the things now that coaches get written up for and fired for, you know, I probably would have been fired a long time ago, you know, because they're things that go on in the gym, in practice, in the locker room that just stays right in that group. You understand? And it was a respect thing between the coach and the players. It wasn't nothing for me to say, shut the F up and listen to what I'm saying, you know. And I never forget, I had a parent, her grandson was named Tim Hawkins. Tim is doing an outstanding job out there, and that's your man, Ricky, out there in California now. He's got his own business and barbershop and whatnot. And his grandmother brought Tim to me. And she said, and I'll never forget it, she said, Coach, I'm putting him in your hands. Do what you need to do to keep him on the straight and narrow. Never had a problem with Tim. Never had a problem. I mean, it was just that type of respect that we had, you know, or during that time. And I'm sure that Coach Butler can tell you the same stories because he and I were coaching during the same time. And I have the utmost respect for Coach Butler and what he did with his program at Roosevelt. Matter of fact, I put a list out on Facebook of my top DC coaches, and we got Coach Butler's one, Kip is one, and Coach Rob Nickens is one. But Coach Butler was the type of guy that all his guys respected him, never had a problem. When we would go into Roosevelt, it was just good competition. And I'm not gonna keep talking, but it was just a different era. It was a different era, man. I'm gonna turn it over to somebody else to talk, but I just felt like it was a respect thing that the coach had.
Yeah,
you know, that's Coach Mack or that's Coach Butler, you know, and it was just that respect that we gave out as well in the professionalism because all of us were teachers at the time, and that type of respect just transcended throughout the building. You know?
Dr. Butler, take the piece that since he passed it to you.
Well, first of all, let me just say this, that Coach Mack was the only coach in the DCIAA that I was not able to beat. And all of the other ones, at least by once, but I couldn't get him. And his program was so tight that I had tried to figure out his style and everything. So what I used to do, he used to give clinics, basketball clinics. So I would go to his clinics just to figure out what he thought and how he did things.
Good move.
You're right.
But I still wasn't able to beat him in Dunbar. But you know, I think one of the differences is we tried to get a lot of the kids off the street, and we get them on the football field, on the track, in the basketball arena. And the idea was to give them something to do so they didn't have to find something to do. I remember, I'll never forget coaching with Coach Tillerson in football. And we used to have 70, 80 guys on the team.
The great Mr. Tillerson.
Oh, no doubt. And we didn't even have enough helmets for all those guys. And a reporter from Channel 5 came up to him and asked him, why is it that you got all these kids when you can't equip them? And he just turned and looked at the guy and says, I got them here so that they're not knocking you in the head when you're walking down the street.
Good one.
Yep.
So sports was a way of getting kids into a different area where there's some discipline, where there's, you know, tough love, you know, and tough love is important. You know, you got to be able to holler and scream and tell what's good and what's not good in terms of their behavior, but let them know that you love them anyway. And this is the way things are going to be.
Oh, that's great. Anybody else want to just chime in on that topic?
So I actually, and I don't have you guys' resume, I did coach for 3 years. My kids in middle school. When I first got there, the program had never been to the playoffs. They hadn't won a game in 8 years. My last year was my third year. We won that championship. We lost 2 games that year. And what I had to kind of understand about this generation is it's just a lot of vanity with the game. They didn't grow up playing basketball as if, you know, either I play basketball or I go to school. It's like I play basketball and I go to school. So you have to realize a lot of this for them is ego. It's not passion. It's not the grind that we've seen from other generations, prior generations. And so I played into a lot of the vanity. One thing I did to recruit my guys was, at the time I was doing NIL work for the University of Maryland. I was helping them set up their collective. That's when Julian Reese and Jameer Young, all them guys was there. So because I was arranging a lot of the NIL work, I did a clinic where I brought their entire team to my gym, and I invited all the kids I wanted to recruit to the event. So they got a one-on-one experience with the whole University of Maryland basketball team.
Okay.
That's how you play into this generation. I mean, whether it's however you want to look at it, I don't know if they've changed as much as, the generation for them. They moved to the suburbs. They didn't grow up on a playground. It wasn't they got video games, they had Xboxes, they got the shoes, they got all that before they ever even, touched the basketball, right? And now they're becoming millionaires their freshman year in college. So it's like the experience is different. It's a very transactional relationship with the game. And so if you don't play into that transactional piece and you try to take it any other way, they might not respond.
For me, I've tried to make it old school. I've learned from Dr. Butler. I've learned from Kip Keno, and I've learned from Mike McLesse that you're going to win by running a structured, no-nonsense program. That's the way I've always carried it. I think I've lasted in the DCIAA the last 31 years doing it that way. Like Rick has said, though, I've been able to bend a little bit and understand that these kids are more materialistic, like when they see things. So new uniforms, new shoes, to this generation, that means everything, because everybody wants to get on Instagram. Everybody wants to be on Twitter. Everybody wants you to see them. We didn't have all that back then when I grew up. We didn't have the platform that these kids play on. But the number one thing that I've always kept in my program is God. And I think as long as God is in my program, we're going to continue to be successful at Theodore Roosevelt. Like I said, you got some great coaches on here that I've learned from, that I call anything go wrong. And these two guys will tell you that. Anything go wrong with Roosevelt basketball, the first two calls is Mike McLesse and Dr. Butler. I don't care if I lost by 1, if I won by 20, if the clock went out in the gym, they the first two calls. No matter what's going on with basketball in my program, I've always called these guys. And I can honestly say I've talked to Keno several times in tough situations as well. So the knowledge that we have on this platform tonight, that's why I'm glad I'm on here, is incredible. But like I said, Rick hit it on the point as well. You just have to be a stellar person with these kids today, because they've lost so much and they don't know how to gain what they want to gain. So you have to be the guy to be able to help them, and not just with basketball, in the game of life as well.
Coach Keno, what you say?
You know what? As a teacher for 33 years, I retired in January. A lot of these kids are throwback kids. I think what's missing also is when I graduated from the great Central State University in Ohio, and they don't even have a physical education program at all anymore. So you don't have teachers in the building anymore. Because the teachers in the building can touch kids that a lot of people can't. Like Rob can touch kids as a roving leader because he's in that building. Those kids trust faces. They trust people they see every day. So as a matter of fact, the middle school I left, they had a kid with 6'3", 240, and he was the fastest kid in the building. And he didn't play football or basketball because he said he was a gamer. He was gaming. But he told me, he said, Coach, if you was coaching, I'd play with you, though. Because one thing inner city kids love is 3 things. They love what you drive, how you dress, and how you look. And if you have all 3 of those, you got 12 guys that can play. And it's sad, but it's been like that forever. When I first started coaching at Keller Miller, I drove a Range Rover out of college. And kids would try out because they love materialistic things.
Just said that.
And you got to take that materialism and bring it from them to you. You got to, you know what? A guy told me you got to meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of guys now that's not meeting these kids where they are. You got a lot of kids walking around these buildings that can play, but they're not meeting them where they are.
Right.
And Coach McLesse know this. If you got a kid that doesn't want to play, he's 6'6", 6'5", he really doesn't want to play. You can't treat him like the guy that you got at 6'4" that's been playing all his life. You got to treat him with kid gloves. You can't treat when I hear coach say I treat all my kids the same.
Yeah,
they ain't no coach to me. I treated everybody different.
Yeah, no, I've never said that. I've never said that I treat them all the same. I treat them all fair. But I don't treat them all the same. You know, it is no way that I treated the Nathan Langley the same way I treated, say, Romeo Roach. Okay, different personalities, different the whole nine yards. But I treated them fair. I would discipline them all. As a matter of fact, I put Johnny Rose out of my gyms out several times. You know, just because he wasn't ready here. You know, so you know, you
gotta know your kids. That's knowing your kids, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta know.
I had Will Smith and Fred Primus. I couldn't yell at Will Smith. I could call Fred Primus anything under the sun.
So
you got to know you got to know their personalities and how to coach them. Some things you can say to some kids, you can't say to others, and that's just growing with your kids and knowing them. You know, you got some kids, man, they grow up in different situations where, hey, man, this guy might go home tonight and he don't know what he gonna eat, but there's another kid that might go home and he got everything on the table he want. So you got to know how to, you know, deal with them different personalities, and that's gonna be a big piece of your success if you can do that. So you gotta be able to flip that.
Coach, go ahead, Coach.
I was just gonna say, we were talking earlier before we came on, and I mentioned Rick before he came on. And I've been on another podcast, and I talked about Rick. The way the game has evolved now, especially with the monies that's available, the NIL and that type of thing. And I think Rick has cut himself a niche where he can hit these kids and their parents and explain to them the ins and outs, you know, that the average coach probably can't. You see? And oftentimes you get coaches who it's their program and they're not willing to give up an inch to meet the needs of the kid. And I think that's what Rob and people like Rick have evolved to that point where, you know, it's not always my way. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I got to figure out a way to get to that kid, you know. But it's a whole different animal now than from when me and Coach Butler and Kip was coaching.
So since you brought that up, Coach McLesse, let's talk about the NIL, the money and the revenue sharing too, because Rick is one that hit me too. That's just one part of the NIL. Then you got the revenue sharing, and it's a third part I think you told me too, Rick. How do y'all feel about players getting paid? I mean, that's got to change. That's got to change the landscape.
I personally, I love it. I think they should have been getting paid a long time ago. You know, I think you got to have controls on everything. You know what I'm saying? And people always say, they always talk about the kids don't have loyalties. They transfer and they just went to the Final Four and now they transfer. But coach has been doing that. Coach has been transferring for years. Years. Okay. Yep. They talk. I never forget. I heard Jim Larinaga make a statement that when he was at Miami, he said he just come back from there, just won the Final Four.
Yeah, 7 people left,
and then three or four of his key guys was transferred. And I said, "Well, goddamn, coach, you left Mason after going to the Final Four. You went on to better yourself at Miami." So I'm all for it, and that's why you got people like Ricky Goins who understand it and know the ins and outs and the nuances, you know, and can help you. And I always think, somebody asked me on the podcast I was on before, they asked me, say, well, what do you think, you know, how they can negotiate or navigate the NIL? I said they need to get in touch with Ricky Goins and find out, you know, just what it is. I have no clue about how it goes down, you know, and I know it's a lot to it, you know, so you got to have an expert to do that. Well,
Coach, I want to add this right quick, and Mike, then I'll let you in that if you want to ask. I want to add this too, because what Ricky doing is great, but I want to add this. I'm a certified financial education instructor. I used to be a financial analyst for the FDIC, liquidating banks, and I was a stockbroker and an investment advisor. So now I be teaching. I don't get into, I mean, I do know about the NIL and things, but I talk from personal money management, which is another component that they need to get to understand. And once you get that bag, as they say,
right,
then you got to know what to do with that bag. And so I just want to throw that out there because I have a company we do that. But it's a lot. It's a game changer.
No, that's a great point, and that's just like coaching. You got to have an assistant coach. You got to have somebody for this. You got to have somebody that recruits, somebody that keeps track of your timeouts, and that's where you and Ricky could work hand in hand. Because he knows he has a certain expertise as well as you do. And you got to bring all that in to help these young brothers to make sure that they can get that bag and hold on to that bag.
Hey guys, you know something? I got a question from one of the fans. His name is Tony Green. He asks, "How do you keep that respect with the players, getting paid and the option to move on, and keeping them around your program?" You understand? Did you all understand that?
Repeat the question.
How do you keep that respect, with them and get paid and the options to move on and keeping them around the program? So I guess what he's saying is you as a coach is moving on, and do you still have respect? Do y'all still have mutual respect as a player coach? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me address that. I don't live in that world because back when we were coaching, it was like, do as I say and do it when I tell you to do it. But it's got to be difficult right now because, for example, I just had a relative who's a freshman at the University of Michigan, and he got a $12 million as a freshman NIL, pay. What do you tell a kid, who's got $12 million, making that kind of money, and how do you keep that respect with that? And if they're in a position where if they don't like what you say, then they'll just move on to somewhere else.
Right.
Personally, I think you have to meet them, take them out of their comfort zone, and provide something to them that they really, really enjoy or they really like, or something that might be a little different. For example, when I was coaching, I used to take my kids out of their element. I would rent I would take them camping. We would rent RVs and take them camping. A lot of these kids never went out. I never been out of Washington, D.C. I would rent canoes and we would, canoe down the Shenandoah, take them out of that element and let them know that there's a whole lot more that you have to learn.
We lost you there.
They got $12 million. It's tough, and I how you deal with that?
Go ahead,
You know
Rob.
what? I've never had the problem.
What's great?
And I'm not gonna say
Right.
I mean, when you talk about NIL, and I always, I think I've had this conversation with Coach Mike before. We was just talking one night, and some of these kids make more money than the coaches make, and that's when you talk about the respect level, man. Shorty got a $4 million NIL, and coach only making $300K. Man, that's tough. And I think a lot of times we don't see that part of it. I mean, I know Rick know because he's on the inside, but a lot of these kids make a lot more money than the person that's actually coaching them. So that makes it even tougher to be able to get these kids to understand, like, man, I'm supposed to be boss or top dog. But, you know how kids are this day and time. He's thinking, man, I make more money than you, coach. I don't want to hear what you guys say, which is tough. So, go ahead. I'm listening, coach. Somebody's about to come in.
No, wait. I'm sorry. You finish.
Oh, I mean, so that I think that's what we're dealing with this day and time, man. If I got a $4 million NIL deal, and my coach is making, man, maybe $300K, $500K, or whatever. That's just a tough cookie to swallow. I'm just being honest,
one of the things that I found out that if you can get these guys to let you know that you care, and y'all can talk in on that, like you said, how you get the kids, and I know a lot of coaches just trying to get wins and things, but a lot of these kids, like you say, got so many issues, and if you can show that they care, but go ahead, y'all chime in.
Let me say this one time. We just got Darryl Prue on. You want to introduce Darryl?
Darryl, put your head in the picture.
Put your head in the picture, Darryl.
We don't want to see that 8 head you got.
Hey, baby boy.
What's up, fellas?
All right. Okay.
West Virginia's finest, Hall of Fame of West Virginia basketball, Dunbar High School's finest.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Crimson Tide in the house.
By the time I got Dunbar backup on with me.
I got you, baby.
So look, everybody's from what I'm hearing, everybody says you treat each player different. And I like what you say, Coach McLesse, but you treat them fair. But what is the one thing that you have that you tell these players? What is the one thing that you tell these players on, how to make it? How is it? Do y'all have any of y'all have like a one go-to, like Coach McLesse said, his one thing is they may be treating them different, but they're all going to be fair. Is there anything that everybody has a different thing that you tell a player? Can you share it? Open floor.
Well, one of the things I used to say all the time was that if you came and played for me, I was going to get you in college. Now, we didn't have NILs. As a matter of fact, I used to sell donuts and in the morning and popcorn at lunchtime to have extra change to give to my guys, to give them $5 or $10 to go on the weekend or to get their school tokens and whatnot. But one thing I did was every one of them 24 seniors that I had got a college scholarship, and I would work for them. I didn't know, cats like Prue, Mike Smith, Johnny Rose, they was gonna get theirs, But then I had a 5'4" point guard named Romeo Roach. I had to work for Rome, even though he is as good as he was, So, that was my thing. I'm gonna get you in school, man. And your parents ain't gonna have to pay. That was my thing,
I think one of the things that's important, and when I first started coaching, I didn't really think about it that much, but you have to be successful. You have to run a successful program. They say when you lose, you learn a lot, but I think you learn more when you win. And, kids aren't going to listen to you if you're constantly getting hammered. So, you've got to be able to do what you need to do to run a successful program. And a lot of people define success in different ways. You got to win basketball games. It's point blank. If you don't, kids are going to gripe. Their friends are going to be joning on them and all that kind of stuff. So you have to have some success in the program, and then you have to care for the program itself as opposed to being individualistic. Because once you got an individualistic kid, then you're in deep trouble.
Anybody else?
I mean, that's all correct. I mean, because, just like Dunbar, the reason I wanted to go to the Dunbar because they was winning. I used to read about in the paper, back in Sousa, Dunbar wasn't recruiting me, but, you want to, everybody aspires to be one amongst the best. Not saying other schools wasn't that good, but at that time it was Anthony Jones and Sylvester Charles that was always in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Mike, and you saw other teams and stuff, but then you're like, ooh, when you're impressionable, that it rings a bell. It could be any school. It could have been Cardozo. It could have been, But for me, it was Dunbar at the time, and y'all talked about the NIL and all that stuff. It's funny. About 5-6 years ago, before it started, I had an interview with NCAA, and I brought it up. So it was like, "Do you have any questions?" I was like, "What's going on with this NIL thing?" They said, "Well, we know people cheating, but we're trying to get ahead of it and control it," and they lost control. You know what I mean? So
definitely,
lost control. I think it's a good thing, and I think it's a curse as well. That's because there are some guys that's not that good, making a lot of money, is holding people hostage. And as Coach McLesse and the other coaches that's on here, you don't let players. You got to hold them accountable if you want to be successful. You know what I mean? I think you have to hold them accountable. And I think it should be a cap on it. You know what I mean? It's, I hate to say it, but at the end of the day, if the NBA got a cap and the NFL got caps, why can't colleges have caps? You know what I mean? Because if you want to be equal, HBCU's not giving up money like that. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot to it. There's a lot of successful coaches. A lot of people do it a lot of different ways. But at the end of the day, you do have to win. You know what I mean? You're not going to have a job long if you lose.
Well, I'm sorry. I was gonna say with that cap thing, keep in mind the reason the NBA and NFL has a cap is because it's been collectively bargained for by the players and the teams. If it's not collectively bargained, then it is against the law. So the players would love to negotiate a cap. They would love to do that, but the NCAA,
what about American University and Howard University, they can't do it. So that's not fair. Well, that's all I'm saying.
Well, no, what I'm saying is there could be a cap if it's negotiated by the players and the schools. If the NCAA would allow players to be considered employees, you couldn't have a cap. But the other problem with like the Americans, their conference opted out of NIL. So you got to kind of look. It's a lot of ways to look at this. What I was going to touch on was what the question you asked about retention. I think the only way to look at that really is if you are a mid-major or a low major, and even a high major, you're negotiating 1-year deals. Everything's 1 year. If I'm a low major, I'm telling guys, hey, give me one good year. You can go make more money. If you're at a high major, hey, you know what? We're going to see how you perform, and then maybe we can pay you more. I think you can no longer recruit thinking about 4 years out. And you can sign a kid to a multi-year deal. Nobody's doing it yet, really. But it's a matter of priority. So if I'm Maryland and I want my guy back, I got to compensate him based off what the market allows, right? That's kind of how it goes. So, and I think to the respect thing, and I just want to put this in perspective real quick. We have a tendency to focus on what a top level NIL guy makes, right? But I want to kind of put this in perspective. If you're at a high major university and you are the 12th man, and you can be a 12th man for 4 years, you're most likely would have made $1 million. Right. As a 12th man, right? So we talk about making more money than the coach. It's a good chance even in college, the player not playing is making more money than the coach in a lot of cases, right? So now your top guy who might be getting 2 million, 3 million, now he done made 16, 17 million before he even is a pro. So when it comes to, I think, respect, I think it's a matter of and when I'm like kind of negotiating these deals, one thing the coach does is make sure he lets the player know how important they are to them. And for the player, you want to make sure you're going into the right situation. And it's a lot easier for coaches to make the right decisions because now if I got to compensate you, I got to make sure you're the right guy. So I got to look at the college kid. I got to look at the portal kid. I got to look at the high school kid. I don't know if you guys saw today, but there's a guy that played in the G League that now just got his college eligibility back. So he played in the G League last year. Now he's going to play at Santa Clara. So now there's so many, this thing is going to go so many different ways. Coaches really have the ability to say, you know what, who do I value? Who do I want to build my franchise, which it is, around now? And how do I prioritize that? And that has to go with fit and personality.
Yeah. So Rob, right? I mean, Ricky, right quick. Tell me, you said it before on the show. Give me the three components again. You got NIL, and then can you tell me it was
so in NIL essentially that term is going to start to go away because NIL, what it was they were allowing players to earn compensation based off of their own value. So this whole thing came about because Rob, who averaged 20 points a game, can't even sell his autograph to make money. Can't even sell his jersey to make money. So NIL was the piece of you can now earn compensation for anything not related to performance. That's when based off of your popularity. Mm-hmm. What happened on July 1st of this year is now schools can compensate players, but they still can only compensate them for their name, image, and likeness. So when you do a revenue share contract, which is essentially what the new piece is it lays out that, hey, I'm going to pay you $500,000 and you're going to tweet this many times, and you're essentially being paid for when you go into like a college arena and you see the pictures of the guys that's hanging up and you see their videos on a Titantron, right? So that's what is in your revenue share contract. You're still not being paid to be a player. It still is not. You cannot have anything in there saying we are paying you to play for us, right? So now
I got a question. All right, so I've heard guys that's in the Hall of Fame at their universities gonna get some NIL money.
So if
want money.
So part of the settlement was anybody that started playing Division I basketball between 2016 and 2024 will get a check.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
I heard something else.
And a lot of them are getting 6 figures.
So a guy told me is football players at West Virginia, they're in negotiation. If they're in the Hall of Fame, they're gonna get NIL. So the
school. Well, but think about it. So let's think about the concept of NIL. For NIL, that has nothing to do with you can give anybody NIL, right? Like the only people prohibited from getting it was the players that were eligible at the time. You can go back and give NIL to whoever you want to. I mean, any school could choose to do that. That has nothing to do with NCAA.
Yeah,
that's just a school choosing to do it.
I called my old coach, and when he heard, I forgot the guy's name. He played at Kansas, big white kid back in the 70s, playing the NBA. Y'all might know him, Bobby. I forgot his name. I got a picture of him. I'll send it to you later. And he said they said the same thing at Kansas. They were
schools can do whatever they want. And hopefully more schools will go back and do that. I'm saying, the NCAA deals with eligibility. So they're trying to, guys want to be able to be compensated while they maintain their eligibility. The problem what the NCAA has done now to the other piece, Bobby, is they've limited kind of how much money you can make outside of your revenue share. So if you get an NIL deal worth more than $600, the NCAA gets to decide if that deal can be done while you keep your eligibility. So that's a big fight going on right now.
Well, that's the culprits. The NCAA, they're nothing but the mafia, man.
Yeah, basically.
Like Prue, I'm with you. I think he need to be a captain eventually.
Yeah. I mean, cap too, but I want my money.
I want
my money.
Nobody has an issue with the cap if the players can negotiate. Right. What can't happen is can't no random SEC commissioner say you're only worth this because they're mad they don't got enough money, right? Like, and then I'm gonna be honest with you, schools like American University and they have huge endowments.
Right.
If you choose not to invest in your sports, that is a you problem. I don't gotta feel bad for that.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, they've made a conscious decision to invest in sports. If American doesn't find that important, lose games.
Right.
Hey, that's their choice. Like Dr. Butler.
On another point, we got all these good coaches on there. I need some more wins, dog. Give me some of y'all wins. I can pad my stats a little bit.
Dr. Butler, you want to say something?
I'll take some of yours. 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 I need some stats of my coaching ability.
Go ahead, Doc.
Keep in mind, I don't live in that NIL world. So when we were coaching, we had kids that would leave a program because Catholic school or private school would come in and recruit your kids, especially if you were successful. What I found out was usually those kids that are making those decisions is their support system. Either the mom is making the decision, the dad is making the decision. And I remember back in the day, I used to always make sure that I knew what the support system was. For example, I had a kid who wanted to leave, and I found out because the neighborhood barber came and told me, he said, "You're getting ready to lose this kid because he's going here." So if I know the barber and the barber has a way of speaking with the kid, or the next door neighbor or the parent, if I can keep up with their support system, then a lot of times you can impact on the decisions that the kids make. I found out that one kid was getting ready to go to another school. So I put him in my car and took him up to the bus stop, took him up to the school, showed him what he had to do every day in order to get to that school. Just decided, well, okay, maybe I'll stay at Roosevelt. It's in the neighborhood. So I think it's important that a coach is familiar with the people that influence the kid, because I found out a lot of times the kid.
He laughing at the comment. Keep going, Dr. Butler.
No, I'm sorry.
That's what it means.
No, but that's important that you know your players and you
Yeah.
know the impact.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears for me. Oh, go ahead, Rob. You want to say something, Rob?
I was having a little problem. Was that my mic? Mike? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I am so sorry. Okay. Try now. Okay.
No, I think it's that cricket phone you got, the track phone.
You got a cricket phone.
Hey, Rob, do us a favor. Go out and come back in. Your mic is static. You gotta get out and then come back in, and we'll bring you. Get totally out. You gotta get a better connection.
Hey, Coach Butler, I had the same issue. I got word that Baby Shaq was leaving to go to Dunbar. His mother was moving to up northwest because she couldn't pay her rent. So I went by the mother's house, find out because I couldn't lose them, so I had to find out how much rent was. The good thing they was on Section 8, so they was behind rent was $250. So I went on and paid the rent. So
You're telling that man business like that, dog.
I know, right? Hey, man, you know what? And look, come to think about it, Baby Shaq has three kids by my niece.
yeah.
Y'all putting all that man business out there.
Hey, Darryl, but he made a lot of money playing basketball one-on-one, so he all right.
I got two quick points. Prue made a very good point, and when he was saying that he wanted to come to Dunbar because Dunbar was winning at the time, and that's one of the things when we were back in the day when we were trying to get players, winning recruited for you. You know, you because you had a program that was traveling, and I was fortunate to have that type of program where we would play a national schedule. Kids wanted to come and play for us, and that helped me get a lot of players. And I tell everybody, good players make good coaches, and I was fortunate to have good players. The second thing I wanted to ask Rick about was, I remember, well, actually I got 3 points. I got another one after this. But Rick, when correct me if I'm wrong, was it a group of kids or men from Northwestern that was trying to form a union for collegiate athletes, and they eventually gave up on that idea? Do you know anything about that?
I haven't heard about that. How
This was a while ago. This was before the NIL was going big time, and before it really exploded the way it has. But I think it was some football players at Northwestern that had a suit against the NCAA where they were trying to unionize the collegiate athlete, which would allude itself to what you were talking about in terms of collective bargaining. And
yeah, I haven't heard about that. And you know, but I would love to see that happen. One of the things that I don't know if you guys was following.
I think it was before their time. You know what I'm saying? They were a little early with it. You know, when they were.
I don't know if you guys have followed what's going on in Congress, but they're trying to pass a legislation to try to regulate a lot of this. And one of the things they're trying to do is eliminate antitrust exemption. So essentially, it'll go back to how it was, where colleges can regulate everything and kids, how much money kids make. I'm hoping that doesn't pass, and it kind of been getting shut down because these kids bring value. You know, people talk about the marketplace. I mean, a school get paid what a school feel you're worth. You know, I think that's the best way to go about it.
I got one more question for Coach Rob Nickens. So I was reading in the Post a 3 weeks ago that the DCIAA basically has a transfer portal.
Whoa.
And they were saying that there's a certain time period where the kid can sign up. Say the kid goes to Dunbar and he signs up to say, I want to transfer to Wilson. Then Wilson has a list. And they have so many kids that they can get in. And once they meet that, and they have to have certain criteria as to why they want to transfer. But one of the reasons they could transfer is because of athletics. They can say, I want to go to Roosevelt because Coach Rob Nickens got a good program. Okay. And this was the football coach at Dunbar was quoted in the paper. So it's true. It's happening, you know. And he got a kid that's a phenomenal running back. That transferred in, and he kept it on the down low that the kid was trying to come to Dunbar because he didn't want the other coaches to get involved and recruit the kid. And the kid signed that letter in the transfer portal, and he's at Dunbar now. So I was just amazed at that because
So with the I'm not going to say Coach Mack is a transfer portal. What you have right now is basically, I don't know why I'm on my computer. Can you hear me? And I'm clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Trying to break it up a bit.
So with I'm not going to say it's a transfer portal. What we have it's a thing called the lottery. You can go in the lottery for DCPS, which is crazy. Kid can enter his name in the lottery, and the school, you have, like, say a kid want to come to Roosevelt, he has to go in the lottery and put me as his first choice. Then our administration and my register has to sign off on him coming to Roosevelt. Now, when kids transfer, if they back in the day go back in, you got a great relationship with the kid at Roosevelt, wants to transfer to Dunbar, and you call me and say, Rob, hey, such and such trying to transfer to Dunbar. And I say, Coach Mack, thanks for calling me. I know about it. I'm going to release him to Dunbar. Then that can happen. You know what I'm saying? It has to be that route. You just can't say I'm at Roosevelt today, I'm going to Dunbar tomorrow. That is totally untrue. That is totally false. You can't do that in the DCIAA. Now, if you do that, then you know something's wrong because you can't do that. I'm not going to say it hasn't been done. I see how Prue looking at me, but it has been done. You know what I'm saying? Guys, find a way to get you in their program without even talking to you about it. It happens every day.
Coach Matt, I got two kids.
Darryl, hey, Rob, do you have some papers or something on your desk that you're moving it around?
Nah, I'm not moving anything around.
It's just your connection. Go ahead, Darryl.
I had two kids that live right across the street from St. Charles playing in DCIAA.
See, I'm telling you, they had it was in the Washington. Oh, I'm gonna pull that article up, and I'm gonna send it to you guys, man. The way they wrote it up in the Post.
I saw that article. I read that article. That article was an incredible article.
Yeah, and it wasn't. They didn't call it a transfer portal, but they said every school has a number of slots. Somebody need to go on mute.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out who it is.
They say they have a number of slots that each school has where transfers can come in. There is a deadline when they have to put their name into this portal, for lack of a better term. Okay. And they have to state the reason why they want to transfer this, but they always get through because the slots are never filled up. Okay. And so if you know of a kid that like this kid that ended up going to Dunbar, this running back, and coach obviously did his due diligence because he kept it on the low until it was time for the boy to put his name on the list, and boom, he was there, you know. So that's a whole nother animal, man, you know, in terms of recruiting. I mean, it's a great thing, I think, you know, but because I'm for open school.
Now keep in mind, I'm sorry. I was gonna say just keep it.
Yeah, coaches. Like, I know Jodine didn't like transfers. You know, I guess because of Stacy. You know, Stacy, you know, kind of, you know, as talented as he was, it kind of disrupts some things. How did y'all feel about it, Butler and Matt?
Hey, Dr. Butler, I got you. It was you, Dr. Butler. So you can come back on mute if you want to. It was you, by the way, making the stat. Your connection. But you can unmute. Let me see. I'm gonna unmute you if you want to say something.
Well, to answer your question, Prue, in my case, in my situation, I looked at every transfer possibility on an individual basis. I'll give you an example. Mike Smith transferred from Mackin to Dunbar. Mike transferred from Mackin because it was a financial thing. They couldn't get that squared away. And I had one of his buddies already playing for me. And he told me, said, Coach Mike Smith is available. So I got on my job and got Mike, because Mike lived right in Cardozo's zone. Mm-hmm. So I got on my job to get Mike to come to Dunbar. So it was always on an individual basis, you know, as far as I was concerned, as to who you know, transfers and that type of thing. Because sometimes the transfer kid is what you said. He's going to bring some problems. He's going to bring some problems that you don't want in your program, and then you're going to have to get him up out of there.
Yep. Yeah.
I like kids I'm going to have for 2 or more years. You know, it's going to take them, like, especially for me, because nowadays these kids can't handle, you know, correction. So it's hard. It's hard for them. Right. Oh, you old school, you're old school. No, it's just a coach. Right. It's nothing about old school about it. It's just, you know, you've been held accountable. You know, but usually the second year they get used to things. And they're just not used to it.
And that's another thing too. What you say, you know, the time that you have to build that relationship with that kid is important as well. I was fortunate, man. I had Scoop Marshall transferred in, no problems. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Mike Smith, you know, he came in. Claude Green transferred in from Bethesda Chevy Chase. So I was Earl Tyson, Pep Tyson, point guard. He transferred in. So I was fortunate that those kids came in and bought into what we were doing. But like I said, winning had a lot to do with that. They knew that, you know, they had an opportunity to win, and they knew that if they flicked up, that they was going to get moved out, you know, right? Because it was the way we ran.
Mike, I got a real controversial question for Coach Mack. I think you know what I'm gonna say. How the hell you cut Moochie Norris?
See,
what?
What?
How was this?
Oh, that's a very good question. I didn't cut Moochie Norris. Okay. All right. I took a bullet basically in that situation, because people want to know, how you cut Moochie Norris? I didn't cut Moochie. Moochie was academically ineligible. Okay. And he transferred and became eligible the next day that he transferred when he got to Cardozo. That's the truth on
that's
that.
The real story.
That's the real story. Now, you know, but we did all right. We won 3 city championships with Romeo Roach.
Y'all did very well.
No, time out. What's up with Cardozo? Cardozo is always known. I told you when I played in '74, they had this guy 20 years old playing. Cardozo, they got some secret formula down there, backdoor system. Hey, look, question, y'all. Question. I want to switch gears for a quick.
Hold on, just real quick. I want to throw one thing in there.
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you guys seen that a lot of local kids are transferring to private schools around the country. They're paying them big money. So high school seniors that you see transferring to New York, California, and I know because I have one of my kids that's been offered. They're offering big money to high school kids to spend their senior year at their schools. So that's another thing you got to go against.
How you feel about that?
Man, I'm all about guys making money, man. So it's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's just and I tell kids, and what I tell all my clients and kids is, think about the next check. So don't do nothing about, because you don't want to get paid one time. Right. You're going to get paid multiple times. So if the move is going to help you get paid for 4 or 5 years, let's do it. If it's not, don't do it.
But Rick, there's another thing that's created from this that's happening because of this. Like you're saying, there are guys now, no, they're not going to the NBA, G League or whatever. They're staying 6 and 7 years and not graduating and don't have no other career. And that it's not enough attention being paid to them because it's still new. But just like the guy, I think NC State, not the year before last, they played in the championship. I think he was a 7-year senior and stuff.
Well, this what I'm gonna say about that, and this is like a harsh reality. And I tell parents this, and they don't understand what I'm saying. The chances of graduating from college on the Division I level with your degree now is about to become very slim. Schools used to have a 90% graduation rate. Those days are over with, because the chances of you staying at a 4-year schools is almost impossible.
Right.
And then if you do stay, and if you do transfer, by the time you're a senior, you would have transferred so many times you will need an additional year of school to graduate that nobody wants to pay for. So I had two of my kids that I did deals for, and able to make up the credits they lost by transferring, have to do summer school 2 sessions, play this season, and then while they're going through the NBA process or whatever happens, got to do another session in school to graduate. So you got a retention issue, then you got a credit transfer issue. So it's going to be really hard to get a degree because you're going to probably need 5 years.
Go ahead, Darryl.
No, Rob's in twice, but that's always been an issue. If you keep transferring school, because every school is different.
Yeah, but the difference, it's true. But the difference was you had a better chance before this of staying at a school for 4 years. You would see guys, they might have rolled the bench for 3 or 4 years.
But Ricky,
you don't see that no more.
But Ricky, but there is
they're 25 years, 26 years old.
There's a void, there, Ricky. Is it the school's problem? Problem, or is it the kid is not going to school?
No, it's the coach. Coaches are no longer thinking development.
Oh, we know
if
that.
I can, so what I'm saying is, I don't have a reason unless I feel like there's a kid that, hey, I'm going to play you a lot next year. I'm not keeping you. No. The only safe way to graduate college, I tell people this: the only safe way to make sure you're going to get a degree on the Division I level now is to be a rotation player on a winning, a 7 to 8 man on a winning team. If you're not that, it's a good chance you're going to be forced out of school. Now you got to find somewhere else to go. They're probably not going to take credits. Right. Then you go to have 120 credit or 90 credits by your junior year means that it takes a lot, because a lot of kids will just go to school. You know, what would you say? Hey, you're going to get your degree.
Yes.
Nobody's recruiting like that no more. What are you going to do next year?
Ricky, that's the given. And I understand the coaches and to all the coaches on here, this is not a stab against you, but a lot of coaches, right, they just and we talked about, at least we talked about before we got on, the tenure of a coach, it's no security in being a coach, so they trying to win. But what I'm saying, Ricky, there's something being missing, because everybody's not going to the NBA. And I'm talking about those guys that could be a rotational player. If your ass know you're not going to make it to the pros, what they're starting to do is get the NIL, and that's it. And then when it stops, they don't have no degree, they don't have no career.
So you talking about guys that's like leaving school early, or what do you mean?
I'm talking about guys that not getting their degree. Now,
but I'm saying they're not getting their degree because of retention. Like, if I'm going to transfer,
y'all saying 2 different things. Well,
because if you're good enough,
Bobby's saying that guys are leaving out no degrees. I get that part, Bobby, but they're leaving out with $1 million in the bank. You know, it's a little different than like when we came out. We didn't have no degree. We ain't got no job. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah. Ricky, tell me this: the average guy ain't leaving out with $1 million. This don't go there.
I want to say this. This last year and this year are the first year of big paydays. So. Okay. As time goes, now if you're talking about in general, no, but on a high major level, it's getting to a point where the average guy, if they play 4 years, will probably leave with around $1 million. But that's not even the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is the 6-year, 7-year school thing was kind of an aberration because you had COVID, and then you had all these unique waiver situations. You're not going to see a lot of that right now. Now, as people start to fight these antitrust laws, it may come a point where you ain't never got to leave college, right? That looks like it's something that's legally, if they don't allow college athletes to become employees, there is no rules around how you govern this. See, people don't understand that part. The only reason the NBA has what they have is because of collective bargaining.
Correct.
If not, so a college, potentially, if things stay where they are, a college kid could spend 15 years in college because the government cannot tell you can't earn a living because of your age. That is ageism. No, I don't have an issue with it, because all you have to do is tell players. All you have to do is say, "Hey, make them employees." Guess what? Now you can do what? You can negotiate. Oh, you can only play 4 years in college.
We're not going to do that, Ricky, because
me and Bobby, man, because we couldn't go into college at 21 years old and play 4 years after 21.
Well, right. You know what? And that's fine. But the thing is, if you want to, if people want to address, there's a legal remedy for this. Yes. But people don't want to go about that remedy. They just want to make players look bad.
No, Ricky, let's be clear. The NCAA don't want to do that because they're going to lose money.
Well, but you know what? I don't even think they will lose money. They lose control. Because you know what I mean? You can negotiate. Right? Well, I don't even know if it's that, because when you start collectively bargaining, having these conversations, you might find out, you know what, players will agree to only playing 4 years if the revenue share is 30%. You might get that, but you don't know because you're so scared to allow a player to be an employee. So you know what I'm saying? So they're playing victim while also holding all the cards.
It's the chicken or the egg. Which
that's,
one?
That's another thing. Do you be an employee now? You got to pay for your own school, like the school.
Well, but guess what, right? That everything you're saying will be subject to collective bargaining. That's the thing. You can work all this out. Every issue that people have, whether it's how many years you can play, can all be worked out through collective bargaining. The NCAA wants to have no collective bargaining while also telling the players what they can't do. So you got a million lawsuits going on right now. You got a lawsuit right now. There's a lawsuit right now that's challenging Division II eligibility, meaning it's a lawsuit saying that if you play Division II, those 4 years don't count. You can still go Division I. That is a result of the NCAA having rules that are literally antitrust violations.
So Ricky, it goes back to your point. The antitrust, the collective bargaining is not going to happen. You know why? Because they lose control, and that's why I call it NCAA.
Well, the problem is at some point, if it becomes what it is, they got to at some point. They're going to be forced to, because you really don't want guys in college 20 years. You don't want that, but you don't have a way to fight it without collective bargaining.
Yeah. So fellas, I got to change the subject. And I want to go around. And this is going to be a little bit debatable because everybody gets into this. But I want to know from you, your individual choice for the best basketball player or football player that has ever come out of Washington, D.C. Coach McLesse, you first. I didn't mean to put the pressure on you. I want the best basketball and football player that ever, doesn't have to be in your era, to come out of D.C. And you're in this too, Mike. I'm talking about.
You said DC or the DMV?
DMV.
Dang.
Who wants to go first? I'm gonna go first. I'll go first.
Okay, you go first. Yeah.
I'm going first.
Let me ask you this, or let me throw this in. When I come with my answer, it's going to be somebody that I saw play.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Good deal. That's tough. So you messed up my choice now.
That's just my choice.
Okay, that's your choice. Well, I saw this player play, but I didn't see him play in high school. I saw him playing the pros. No, you know what? No, I'm going with this. No. I played against this player. It's hard for me to pick this one because there's several. I didn't see Elgin Bell, right? And I didn't see Dave B. I seen Dave B playing the pros, but I'm picking Adrian Dantley for my basketball, and I'm picking Cornelius Green for my football.
Okay.
Who's next? Ricky up.
Yeah, I gotta go in a minute. I gotta host a meeting, but for basketball, it gotta be Kevin Durant. Football's tough, man. That's a tough one. Man, I don't know. The best I saw when I was in school and I played against him in basketball was Vernon Davis. But I know there's guys that's, but I had to say him. But all right, guys, I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Rick. Thank you so much, man.
All right, thanks for being on, Rick.
Are we talking high school, college? What are we talking?
Don't matter. Ever come out of DC, DMV? They could have just played in high school and never even made it to. It could be a playground mug, like what's that mug? Chicken breast.
Who the heck is that?
You don't know Out of Turkey Thicket, the great chicken breast?
No.
Out of Turkey Thicket. Damn, I must be telling my age. Damn.
Yeah, you are.
Come on, Darryl, who you got? You can pick yourself, Negro. Go ahead.
I just like being mentioned as one of the best. I know I ain't the best. I just want like my
Dr.
name.
Butler,
there.
Dr. Butler, I know you see Dr. Butler. I know you got some. Dr. Butler.
I'd say Sherman Douglas, basketball.
Ooh, good one.
Lonnie Perrin.
Ooh, Coolidge. No, Lonnie Perrin was what?
McKinley
McKinley
Tech.
Tech, running back. McKinley Tech. That's a good one.
That was I was going with Lonnie Perrin too, Coach Butler, as my football guy. I'm still flicking with basketball. Wow.
Hey, Coach Keno, who you got?
You mute.
I'm sorry. Unmute your butt. Unmute.
I got my uncle and godfather, Elgin Bella basketball.
That's your uncle?
You didn't see him play though, dog. He said you gotta see him play.
Yeah.
No, you don't have.
And I got Henderson Mosley football.
Whoa,
That's a good one.
I know that name.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And if I had to say somebody I saw, I'd say Lyndon the Belly.
Okay. My basketball.
And Clarence Green.
My basketball players is going to be controversial with y'all, but that's my choice.
Yes.
Okay? Stacey Robinson.
Oh, that's
Best I seen.
I'm sorry, I'm changing mine from Dantley to Stacy. Sorry.
Billy Bryant. My man Tony Green said Billy Bryant. That's not a bad choice, buddy.
No, but Billy is here. Stacy is here. No.
Yeah.
Billy came up on Upshur Playground. No, Stacy. I changed mine. Thank you, McLean. Who you got, Rob?
I mean, I heard who I saw. I mean, growing up, I jumped the gate at Dunbar to see this guy. Man, Tyrone Gibson pulled him half court, man. And that guy blew my mind when I first
Sound
seen
like the
Ty
Godfather out this morning.
Who you say?
He said Ty Gibson.
Ty Gibson.
Gibson.
Yeah.
He played with me one year.
Yeah.
Special.
I'm gonna tell you how Tyrone got. Let me tell you a story. How Tyrone got to Dunbar. I was coaching at Lincoln Junior High.
Yep.
And we played Hamilton. And there wasn't no 3-point shot back then. And Tyrone was lighting us up, man. He was shooting it, man. I mean, under pressure, yada yada yada. So I told Westmore, who was the coach at Dunbar at the time, I said, man, they got a kid over at Hamilton named Tyrone Gibson. You need to get him. I said he can flat out shoot, and that's how Tyrone came to Dunbar.
See, y'all don't know Coach Mack was my assistant for a couple months at Dunbar.
That's right. And Darryl was my assistant with the USBL.
Yep.
Playing coach. That's right.
I got, y'all said some good names. It was like Sherman for me, Adrian Danley, KD, of course. Football, Derek Finner.
Yep. That's it.
Derek
That's it.
Derek Finner. He's the only person I've seen run over the Chesley brothers with ease in high school. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just, 6'4", 6'5", halfback back then. You know what I mean? So,
Mike Graham, who you got?
I got Derek Finner as a football player, and Adrian Dantley as my basketball.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
There's 3 people in this city that we just named. Sherman. Nobody can stop him when he gets going. Nobody can stop AD, and nobody can stop KD. You know what I mean? It was just, I haven't seen it. Everybody can get a bad game, but you never really see them have.
But I've seen Stacey Robinson do some incredible things. Yeah. he's my year. I came out in 75, and this is going to make it even more greater. Maybe, matter of fact, this might have been why he did do crazy things. He was shooting up and playing. He was shooting.
He said it. It's a shame. I didn't get a chance to see. I never saw him play at all. You get a chance to see him.
I saw him in the championship game.
You know what I mean? But you never got a chance to see him.
Hey, one of the viewers, Tony Green, he mentioned Kevin Tatum. And Kevin Tatum was the point guard on that McKinley Tech Magnificent 17.
Well, how could he say Tatum and not say Apple Milam?
Apple Milam. I mean, well, Kevin was the straw. He was the straw that stirred that drink. you know,
Right. The point guard.
You got Apple Milam, Michael Bo. That was the best high school team I've seen.
Yeah.
That was the best high school team I've ever
seen.
seen.
How about this? It's named the top 5 high school, the top 5 for each high school in the city.
Top 5?
Yep. In each
high
city,
schools?
In the city schools. The Dunbars, Anacastias, all that.
The top 5 high schools?
No, top 5 in each high school.
Oh.
Let's start off with Anacostia first.
You mean players?
Yeah.
Oh, I would know all those players.
Quilly Mixon, Steve Postel, boy who played guard. What's his name?
What about Lonnie Baxter and Michael Powell?
Right, Mike Powell and the guard, Dennis Scott, something like that.
Keith Davis.
Yeah.
Ballou.
Dude, Ballou, you got the Campbell brothers.
What was the kid that played a few years ago that went to Georgetown?
You got Chick Dent, Dorian Dent.
There was a kid that went to Georgetown that played for there, right? Played with them for a minute, right?
For Ballou?
Yeah.
Got me on that one. What about Dunbar? What about Dunbar?
Too many.
You can't pick 5 from Dunbar, man.
No, you got to pick 5, Coach. You got to pick 5 from Dunbar.
I'm gonna recuse myself from that one.
I go.
Let me hear what you got, Prue.
I go Bebe.
Okay.
Anthony Jones. Sky. Anthony Jones, the best player to play at Dunbar to me. Sky.
Yeah. Craig Scott.
Mike Smith.
Anthony Jones.
Who?
I said Anthony. Scooby.
Yeah, he said Anthony.
Well, there's another guy that you might be too young to know that came out of Dunbar. Was that Dunbar? Yeah, who was all met. His name was Angelo Council.
Yeah,
he was all met Dunbar.
I never heard of him.
How about Coolidge?
Mike Graham know who Scooby is.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
How about Coolidge?
Ooh, Dave Butler.
David Butler.
Yep.
He didn't play, but he didn't play a senior year.
How about the Gregory
Oh, he
brothers?
didn't?
Claude and
No.
Slim. Claude Gregory.
Yeah. Were they better than Dave Butler and the big boy that went to Temple?
Oh, the boy
Donald
Hodge.
Hodge. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Hodge.
Little point guard that got paralyzed. You got Paul Smith. Kurt Smith.
You got Stretch Gregory. He went to Wisconsin.
Derek Davis.
Derek Davis.
You got to put Kurt in there.
What about Roosevelt?
I would go Earl and Linwood Davis.
Yep, without a doubt.
Wilbur Thomas.
Jermaine Holloway.
Who?
Jermaine Holloway. He played.
Holloway.
Yeah, I remember Calvin Brown with the AU.
Yeah.
Definitely Calvin Brown.
Daniel
Joe Howard, he's a Carroll, right?
Y'all probably won't know this name, but Gary Coble was a sweet jump shooting mug out of Roosevelt. He was all in the high. All right, what about Cardozo? What you got for Cardozo, Coach Keno?
The Bella.
Earl Moore.
There's a guy named Ed Epps.
Norris, all guards.
Lynn Ring. Y'all don't know nothing about Lynn Ring and Ed Epps.
Ed Epps.
That's my man.
How about this guy, Ricardo Wiley? Do you know that name?
Ricardo Wiley.
And I tell you another guy too. Oh man. Oh, y'all don't know this. He played at the Utah Stars, 6'10". His name was Michael Jackson, out of Cardozo. Played with the Utah Stars.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cardozo got some. Then there's something. Who else we leaving out? Oh, y'all might not agree with this, but the boy could do magic with the ball. I think his name was Sheik Pearson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you got.
But you got to look at
Eric Braham. You got Eric Braham. You got Greg Jones. You got a whole bunch of people.
But the question itself is so broad because as Darryl said, you got to see who you saw because me and Clarence Green Bootney had this conversation, and you just can't. This is one of those conversations you really should never have because
I know that's why I threw it out there.
You're leaving too many people out, and
But the thing is, too, people, you can't get offended when you get left out.
Right.
You know
But here's the thing with that, Prue. What I always try to do, I always try to tell people, go by decades. Who was your 70s? Who was your 80s? Go by decades.
But one name I have to add is Doug Dormu, who the one-arm kid.
Uh-huh.
How about the guy from Armstrong named Gary Mays? The mug had one arm, and the mug, and he was all met in baseball as a catcher, and nobody ever stole second base on him. I'm telling you. But look, they had this guy. Oh, I don't know his name. That played at Spingarn in '74. He had an extra long arm and a little baby arm. His baby arm never grew. I swear, I'm not. This Mike not make jokes. This is not no. His name was Stretch. He played in that long arm because he had a real baby arm. It never grew. It's a baby arm, and he used to snatch. He reached over you with the long arm like a Fantastic Four and smack it with the baby arm. But he would rub behind your ear when you went up to get a rebound, and you would jump and shit. Our player, Keith Lewis, said, get us out again. He would stick the feet because it was a rubber arm. His name was Stretch. He played with Spingarn. There's some players in D.C., man. My point was there's some ballers that come out of D.C. And Coach McLesse, this is what I was holding. I just remember I told you I had a question I was going to hold.
Yeah.
This is the question I was going to hold.
That was it?
No, that's not the question.
Okay.
What is there a difference in the Washington, D.C. ball player than any ball player at New York, Philly, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit? Is there a model? Is there what makes a DC ball player? Can anybody answer that?
I think when I traveled the country and I went to New York a lot. My aunt used to have a restaurant in Harlem, so I was in New York just as much as I was in D.C. growing up in the 70s and 80s. I ran across Kenny Hutchinson, Pearl Washington, Artie Green, Richie Adams, all those guys. But what they say about D.C. was they say California guys had the jump shot.
Yeah.
New York guys had the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago guys were really tough.
Okay.
But they said DC guys had the total game. They can shoot, they can dribble it, and they can get to the hoop. That was the difference historically. Hey, and can I say something real quick, Coach McLeese? Me and Lonnie Perrin, when I was the athletic director at Coolidge, when he said, when he heard about people talk about the Magnificent Seven, he said he was pissed off because he was the 8th man on that team. How y'all? Well, he was sorry.
If he was the 8th man, he ain't getting no bump.
Hey, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Oh, damn.
I didn't know that either.
Lonnie said every time he hear that, he want to slap somebody. Because he said he
played with 7 guys.
But he said he played.
7 guys.
He said he played. He said he played.
And you know something? This is why I do this show, because I feel like that people that don't know this history of basketball in DC, they know it now. You know, it's not because of money or anything of that nature. I enjoy this, man, because right now I'm a senior now, and I love telling stories. So if y'all know any ball players that's still alive, that's way older than all of us, let them know that I want them. You know, I want to know the history, because I think people should know it, because I see these young kids nowadays, you know, of course they're on social media a lot. You know, you got some that's making up mixtapes that claim they're averaging 30 points a game, this, that, and the other. But you never heard of them, or when you get them in the camp or something to play, they can't play. You know what I'm saying? So these kids are trying to fix something that's not broken. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, when we was coming up, think about it. We didn't have
we were different. We were different because we played against men.
Right. Exactly.
I'm playing against, at 14, and I put it in my book. Dr. Carr got me playing against Adrian Dantley and Bobby Dandridge all day on Sunday. And you got to compete. You can't play like a little boy against them. You know what I mean? You'll never get back on the floor. You know what I mean? So, there's a couple things. Like me and Kip go back to Sousa. He went to Sousa with me. Wow. You know what I mean? He transferred into Sousa with me. He played 1 year with me. and like me and Mike played in Mexico together. You know what I mean? And we was unstoppable over there. You know what I mean? So it's like like you was always, when you was out of town, you was in the NCAAs, you love to see people. You know what I mean? That came from DC. You know what I mean? Like I remember when we was playing in the NCAA, I saw Big Fred McCoy. He was playing with Kansas State, and used to see him out places and stuff like that. So it's all Kenny Saunders. You know what I mean? He was, we played against them every year. So it was always good to see DC. DC representing the world. I mean, the country in college basketball.
If you think about it, Darryl, just what you're saying, I mean, DC. Wherever you went, you always could tell, oh, that nigga from DC.
Yes.
Didn't matter where you went, it was that swag that DC cats just automatically had, females as well, and it just carried itself in a way that you was always proud to rep.
Yes. Hey, Coach McLesse, but there was one exception though. If it was a Bama, we didn't claim him. No. We didn't claim him.
Like I tell my wife, I said, there's a whole lot of Bamas in DC too.
A whole bunch of Bamas in DC. Especially when Flag Brothers came out with them Stack Hills. That was a game changer, man.
Oh, damn,
remember the collars be this
long? Yeah, long collars. Yeah.
And the shoes, the heels on the shoes.
That's how man. Because I look, y'all. So I'm 6'6". I played point guard from Wilson to college to pros, and I went out to play for a football team, but basketball coach when I was like 6'11", because I had Stack Hills and a 4-inch afro. But no, this is great, y'all. But I just want to say this thing about young people and the old players. I heard Earl Monroe talk to young guys, and he was saying why it's important for them to understand about the older players, because it's all relative. And if you understand some of the things about the older players, and then for the older players to relate how they play to today, it definitely is a thing that they could learn from. Because a lot of times, we heard you walked uphill with no shoes, how old mothers get to talking, and they want to hear it. But when I'm finding out at 68, and a lot of my friends, older guys, they're afraid to speak to these young guys because of all the, the craziness and violence and stuff. But when I'm finding out, I start a conversation with them, and they want to talk. But a lot of my friends are afraid, of these young guys because, the reputation of things is going on out there. But I'm finding out there was a guy at the Doubtless Diner. One guy was 6'8", another was 6'7", another was 6'3". I got up and I just went, give me a leave. I said, man, what y'all know about cryptocurrency? Just threw it out there. Man, these guys went on. And actually, I teach cryptocurrency, but they told me some stuff I didn't know. And look, this tells you how old I am, right? So I told them, here's my card. I got a podcast, financial card, and I teach financial education. Here's my card. They took it. One guy took it and gave it to the other guy, gave it back to me. I'm like, God damn, y'all don't want to give an old guy no love? They said, what you talking about, Mr. Bob? We already took a picture of it. But it's all good, man. This has been a great show, man. We appreciate you all. We really do.
Well, I want to thank y'all for having us on, man.
We had a good one. We go
great.
And let me tell you what happened.
I want to thank you, Coach. And I want to thank my little brother there, DP, Darryl Prue. And Doc, I definitely want to thank you, sir, because you the man. Several different teams you coach. I mean, whatever they ask you to do in DC public schools, you have done it. You know what I'm saying? And despite having a family and all, and you 36 years, man, come on, man. I mean, my hat's off to you. And Keno, I love you, man. You gave me my first job at Spingarn coaching. And I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate you, man. And I love all of y'all, man.
All right, Mike.
We appreciate it, y'all. Look, let me just tell y'all this, man. What happens a lot is a lot of people are doing so much these days, but what's happening, people are going and watching our shows way after you know, because it stays out there for over 30 days. So a lot of people will be watching after this show, like the next couple of days, 30 days. And this is good stuff, man, because I'm telling y'all, you are living legends. And like I said, I knew about each and every one. I didn't know about Kip Kano there. I knew about his cousin running in Kenya. I didn't know about Kip Kano, but everybody else on here, I knew about Dr. Butler. Definitely, you know, I mean, your reputation. You look up DC public schools, you're in the dictionary, your pictures beside it and shit. And McLesse, you know that Dunbar and Rob. Hey, Rob, where can they get your book, bro?
You can get it on Amazon. I hope I sound better, man. I don't know what was going on with my mic on the
but
computer.
now you look like you're in a dungeon or something. What the hell?
No, I'm in the dungeon. I'm inside my truck, man. It's a better outlet in here. So we're gonna talk from here. You can go on Amazon and get it. Or at robnickens.com. The Milkhouse story of Rob Nickens is a unique story about my basketball journey from 4 years old to 54. So, I mean, if you want to see, you know, the inside of DCIAA basketball, city basketball, from my eyes and my perspective, doing it as long as I've done it, and this is an amazing book, man. I mean, Dr. Butler, Mike McLesse, all these guys are in my book, so it's an incredible book, man. Incredible book.
Well, I must give a shameless plug. My book has been out for a year on Barnes & Noble and at my publisher, Durant's. I produced a book called The Other Side of the Hoop, the European Basketball Experience, about my 5 years playing as a little boy from DC welfare, playing in Amsterdam and Germany. And not that it's a lot of stories, and at the end of each chapter there's lessons learned, and not that this makes the whole book, because I don't want to sound like Wilt Chamberlain, but one of the chapters that is getting a lot of traction is Booty and the Beast. But I leave that for people to read. So look, thanks everybody. Thanks y'all, man.
Coach Butler, let Coach Butler get his plug in. He got 2 books out, right?
Come on, Coach, give it up, baby. Don't hide it, divide it.
I have 4 books.
4 books. My bad. I said 2. My bad.
I'm working on 5 now. Hollywood.
You break it up.
Breaking up.
Right. And I try to pick different subjects to talk about.
You're losing your doc. You're losing your doc. We don't know what happened to. We don't know what happened to you all.
Who playing that music back there? Who playing that Jerry Butler back there?
Panera.
Well, it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Darryl Prue.
Yeah.
What's up,
baby?
Yeah, almost finished. Yeah, almost finished. You got the point won't come out until like January, February. Almost finished.
Okay.
You gotta get a copy of that, Prue. Congratulations, man. It's a hell of a thing.
Darryl, you got a book. What is the title? From Pimp to Player?
No, True Prue. My little journey from Southeast to get my picture on the wall in West Virginia. You know, when I first walked in that building, there was nobody that looked like us walking through there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, to have that, you know, we talked about my coaching and playing and overseas and stuff like that. So
yeah, they go back. They go back as high school, because I talked to the guy who's writing the book on him. And that's gonna be.
He has a lot of questions. He does his research. So
Hey, Coach McLesse, you need to think about writing the book yourself, buddy.
I'm too lazy, man. I'm too lazy, man.
Yeah, but y'all got a story, man.
Well, you know what, Coach McLesse. How many years? He got 10 years, 12 players per year. They got 100 and something memories. You know what I mean? Man. They got, for him. You know what I mean? So his legacy is going to be gone. Like, somebody like me, I ain't got no kids. I got a daughter, but she's not in my life. So my legacy is going to be that book, when they look at it. So
there you go.
Good for you.
So, somebody else can read about it. You know what I mean? Like the little kids I work with now and the coach, they can look at it. Hopefully it inspires some of them when they go through their little ups and downs.
There you go. My man.
Keno. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
You muted.
I'm muted. What you doing muted, man?
I said, hey, They want me to write a book, man. 33 years in the trenches. So, 33 years of teaching inner city kids has been my thing now.
I know you got some stories.
I got a 7.
lot of, man.
Look, I started all over. I got a 7 and a 9-year-old, so I'm living through them right now.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
God bless you.
Wait a minute.
God bless you.
As your kids or as your grandkids?
You know something? And see, you try to be funny. No, because let me tell you something. I walked into a doctor's office with my 10-year-old, right? And the nurse talking about, well, Mr. Graham, you can come in with your granddaughter. I looked at her like, what? Grandkids? I'm like, man.
I know that feeling. I got a 22-year-old, man. And when she was 10, that's it. I just get that. Oh, all right, Kano.
Wow. Like I said, I want to thank y'all for coming on. Yep. And, I really enjoyed y'all. Next week, we got the one, the only, the Goodman Commission, the Goodman League Commissioner.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We got him on next week, man. So Miles Raw.
That should be good.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a great show with him. So I want to really appreciate y'all and thank y'all for coming on, man.
All right, Mike.
Really
thanks.
Y'all have a good night.
Love you guys. All right,
Y'all stay safe.
Y'all take it easy, man, and peace be with you.
All right.
Press the exit.
Exit button, man. Go ahead, man.
All right, Mike, a great show, man.
Yeah, it was really a great show, man. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed listening to them because they got a lot of stories and everything. So, we'll just look forward to next weekend. Next Tuesday when we got Miles Ross.
Yes.
I can't wait because, he's played a big part in my life too, coming up, playing on the team.
It would be good if we can get some other players that played down at the in Burris Farm in that league.
Well, we'll get them. We'll get them. But I just want to say good night to everybody. We're gonna say good night, and we love y'all. So we'll be seeing y'all later.
Hey, Mike. And one other just administrative thing. If you see me when you put a banner up, the only reason I took it down.
Let me get off first.
Okay.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Michael Graham Show. Big thanks to our guests, and bigger thanks to you for listening. If it hit home, share it. If it made you think, talk about it. Because change starts with conversation. Catch Michael next time. Same truth, same energy, same mission. Till then, stay loud, stay real, and stay connected.
Still live. She's still live. You ain't got out yet. Did you hear?
Yeah,